Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa. Today we are doing, I think this is part 3 of the memory keeper book that we've been making, or at least I have been making. So if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, then I suggest going back. They'll all be in the same playlist. But I'm making this memory keeper book. I'm using a set of SVG files to do that. There's also a set of printable templates as well if you'd like to make this one. So I definitely recommend going back to the beginning and finding out more details about these. But if you're here and you're making along crafting with me, today I'm going to make the cover for the memory keeper book and put in the pages, and then we can finally start getting onto the pages. So in the last video we made the box that goes in the back, and well, that was the first video. In the second video we made the little boxes that go inside the box, right? So today we're making the cover. So I have cut out as the blue piece here. Normally I cut it out of cardstock, but because it's the cover I've cut it out of chipboard. So you could use a cereal box or anything like that of the thickness that you would like it to be. I would say this is kind of medium weight chipboard, and I don't eat cereal, so I don't have any cereal boxes. So I'm just using this bit of chipboard or cardboard or whatever you want to call it here. So I've cut out 2 of the covers, the blue piece down the bottom, the underneath piece, and one of the spines, the blue piece there as well, out of this. And I'll write in the description box all the pieces that I've cut out, so you don't need to write it down and remember. So I've done this a heap of times, made covers lots of times. I always make it pretty much the same way, but I feel like I should still do it on camera. If you want to watch, you can watch, and if you don't want to watch because you already know how to do it, then you don't have to. Your choice. So I'm just going to give myself, this ruler is 1 inch thick, so I'm just giving myself 1 inch. I should have had a pencil at the ready. Here's one. I hope this one works. Sometimes the pencils on these, the leads on these mechanical pencils play up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just giving myself a 1 inch border here that I'm going to line my pieces up on. Oh, see, it's doing that thing. Let's try again. Okay, and I'm going to do the same at the side here. And then I can lay my pieces out. I'm going to line it up with those 2 lines that I've just made there on the corner. A little space here. Oh, now I did have this little piece of cardstock that I used. I don't know if I've still got it. Sorry, I feel like I'm usually more organised than this. It's been a while since I've made a cover. Well, I had this piece of cardstock that I used to put in between my, here it is. 2 pieces of cardstock or chipboard, and I've glued them together, and I put them between each of my pieces so that I sort of have the same thickness in between each one. And then I'm just going to line all these 3 up. Doesn't have to be precise. And then I'm going to draw my inch border at the side here and along the top. So this is just a piece of white cartridge paper or sketch paper, and it's out of an A3, no, it's not even A3, it's out of an A2 sketchbook. And I just find that I need a piece of paper that's slightly bigger than A3, so this works well. And this is because I'm too indecisive. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? I'm going to have to use scissors. It won't fit in my I'm way too indecisive to know what I want to cover my cover in to start with, so I usually just start with white paper and then I can do anything from there. I tend to leave my cover decoration until the end, or at least until I get a sense of how it feels, but that's just me personally, and you might know exactly how you want your cover to look. Okay, so now I'm just going to place these back on here again, and I'm going to glue them down this time. And I tell you what, I think I might use glue stick, and the reason I like glue stick, I've just got a Yoo-hoo one here, and it says it's magic blue, but that's a lie. It doesn't show blue at all. I like glue stick because you don't get any of the bubbles from that you get from other glues, you know, like where you can see where you put the glue. You can't see that with a glue stick. It's not as well adhered, but we're going to fold it over and such anyway, so I feel like it might be okay. So I'm going to pop this one down on here, press it down. I mean, there's so many ways you can make this. Sometimes I stick the whole thing together with a bit of masking tape as well. I haven't done that this time. So, you know, you do it the way you want to. I'm just going to leave a little gap here. Oh, my phone's ringing. You have to excuse me. I'll get it later. Okay, so then I'm going to put this here and line up my spine. And can I just push that out a little bit? There we go. And then the last one, I'm going to put some glue along here. And put this one down. Whoop. Glue's on this side. I'm not thinking. I'm sorry, that phone call just put me off. I was just thinking about what that person wanted and whether I should call them back. Whoops. So that's a big gap. It's not working very well for me. Here we go. Let's try again. I'll put that here and slide that up against there. And it's I'm trying to line it up at the bottom as well, and I think that's where my problem lies. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's press that down. And then I'll put this one away. And I'm just going to use the bone folder and give it a good press all around. And then move this out of the way because I don't need that. And I'm just going to trim around those corners. This is just like how you used to cover school books back in the day, or how we used to cover the kids' school books. I haven't had to do that for ages. So I'm just going to bend this up, put some glue on here. I'm using just an acetone based glue here. So in Australia I get it from Spotlight, and it's called, I don't know what it's called. Oh, the thing won't spin. Okay, it's called craft glue by Crafter's Choice, and I just buy that here in Australia from Spotlight. You can use any glue you like, but I do get a lot of people ask me, what's the glue in the little bottle? So I'm going to do that all the way around for all 4 of these, for the remaining 3, and I'll be right back, and I'll just call that person back. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have just used my glue and sealed that whole thing together like so. So now I have a very plain, boring cover. And so the next thing we need is, I've cut out of my craft cardstock this piece of binding 1, one piece of binding 1, one piece of binding 2. So let me show you that. One piece of binding 1, one piece of binding 2. So this is binding piece 1. It's that way around here, and I've cut it out of craft cardstock. And so these are where we're going to put the pages in, and then we have binding piece 2. So we're going to stick that on at the end. So, but what I want to show you is how I worked out where to put this piece of binding in here. So we need a pencil. And we're going to put it so that this thick section here is to the right hand side, or to the back of the book, and this thinner section is going to be to the left hand side or the front of the book. And I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to line up this first line here with this crease that we've got in the cover, you know, where the spine is attached. So I'm lining that up with that. I'm trying to lining that first line up along there, like so. Needs to come down a little touch. That's about right. Now let me just check that. I'm happy with that. Looks pretty right. So then, where this second cut line is, where we're going to put in the page, I'm actually going to draw a line along there. I'm going to try to. I might just put a little pencil mark at the top and a little pencil mark at the bottom. So then I'm going to draw a line from here to here, and this is just so I can line it up accurately. Well, you know, as accurately as these things go. So now when I put this in, when it's all ready to go in, I'm going to line up this first cut line that so originally we lined it up here, but now we're going to line it up on this line here that we've just drawn. And that's just giving us the exact same gap from here to here as what there is between each of our pages. So it just makes it nice and neat, you know, allegedly. So I'm just going to line that up as best I can along that line that I've just made. Dun, dun, dun. Where are you, line? Out there. Okay. And then I'm going to draw around here so that when we put this in with all our pages attached, which is the next thing we're going to do, I can see exactly where I need to line this little guy up. Okay, so it's going to be like that, maybe a little bit up. I'm trying, there's, you know, just a tight, there's like a millimetre at the top and the bottom here, but as long as it's straight, that's what we want. So now I can see where this is going to go. So I'm just going to put that aside for the minute, and this one. And we're going to do our pages. Now, this is a 4-page book, so we're making 4 pages. I've already made 2 of the pages, have I? Maybe I've only made 1 of the pages. No, there's 2. I've already made 2 of the pages, and they're pocket pages, so that we can put an insert in the side there, which I think will be very nice. So this is 2 of my pages made, and then we'll make 2 together. So I have cut out base page, and for each page that we're making like this, we need to cut out 2 of the base pages. So that's 2 of the base pages here. So in total we need 8 of the base pages to make 4 pages. Okay, so for each page we need 2 of these. Now, as you can see on here, they're cut out with the tab at the top, like this one. But to join them together, all I'm going to do is take one where the tab's at the top and flip it to the bottom, and that way we can join them together. So this tab is going to fold over to the back, and then this one here, this is going to be our back. I've done this the wrong way around, hang on. How's that? No, I think I've, yeah, you know what I've done? Because I've already inked them, I've only inked them on one side, the same side for each page, so I'll just have to do the inking at the end. Okay, so we're going to have this one here with the tab at the top, and this one here with the tab at the top, that way round. I inked the wrong side and it's confusing me. This is the same one, same page. We're just going to flip it over like so, and we're going to attach this tab to the top of this page. I feel like I'm really not with it today. I'm thinking you can probably tell as well. So this, so I apologise. I'll get into the flow. It's been ages since I've done a whole album worth of tutorials, so it does sometimes feel a little, I do sometimes feel a little rusty. I'm using my art glitter glue, which I have come to love for the construction. And put that there and that there. Give it a press. And then we can flip that up, and I'm going to push this tab in. Now, I've completely wasted my time because I've inked the wrong side. Go me. So I've pushed that one in, that tab in, so that when we bring this one down, it makes that little pocket like that. I'll just give it a press. And now, what I should have done, but I didn't do, because I've forgotten how to do everything apparently, is I should have cut one of these little tabs off this back page. So I'm going to do it now. What I should have done is cut this skinny tab off here, but also just a tiny, tiny little bit on the other side of that line. Let me show you. I'm going to line it up so that that score line is in line with my cutting guide, and then I'm just going to push it over just a smidge, you know, I don't know, a millimetre, a tiny bit. I'm just going to cut that whole thing off. It's not working very well. What's wrong with you? I can't feel it cutting at all. What's wrong with you? Well, I'm using scissors then. Oh, I hate using scissors. Just going to trim that off. I'm following that line that I just did. Oh, I hate using scissors. I feel like it's going to be all wobbly, even though I'm trying to follow the line. Okay, so I've just cut off that tab plus that one extra little millimetre, and that's just because we're going to glue these together, and then with that skinny little tab will still fold over nicely. I'm going to do the same with this one as well. So on this second one here, I'm going to do the same thing before we stick it together. Cut this little tab off. Whoops, so I'm just going to line up that line with my cutting line, and then I'm going to just push it over a touch and trim it off. And cut that one off. Okay, so we'll do that one again in a minute. Let's go back to this one. Have I confused everyone completely? I'm so sorry if I have. This is the one where we have already joined it together and we've just cut that tab off. So now I'm going to bend this little guy back here that doesn't have the tab on it and put some glue on there. And press that one down just to complete our little pocket. Give that a press. Got glue everywhere. Okay, so that's that one. Let's do it again. 2 base pages. So hopefully you'll understand this one. So this one's got the tab on. You probably understood my garbled mess before. I'm not suggesting that you couldn't work that out, but it's just going from bad to worse. So we're going to attach this one to this one. And this one has to go that way. Again, I'm confused because I've inked on the wrong side. I'm going to put some glue on this tab here. And attach this to here. You just want to make sure that you've got the tabs on the right side, which, you know, it'll become pretty evident when you try to stick it together and it doesn't fit. Glue that one down, then we're going to fold this one in, put some glue on here, and close that one up, like so. Oops, press it down, get glue everywhere. Press, and then I'm just going to flip it over. I'm going to fold this skinny little section here where we have left after we cut off that tab. Put some glue on here. And fold that one in. Okay. And then we can put them in our spine. So what we're going to do is, for each one of our little pages, we're just going to fold that little tab over, put some glue along there, and then slide it underneath each one of these little cut lines and glue it down, just like that. Right, so let's do that one. So this is our piece of binding, and it doesn't really matter which way you put it in at the moment, the pages in at the moment, because there's nothing on them. I'm just going to slide it under here, lift it up if you need to. Line it up as best you can. Press it down like so. And then let's do another one. So I'm going to put some glue on this tab here. This is on the back of my page. And then I'm going to lift this up, the next section up. I'm going to lift the next section up. It's not that one. I don't know what I've done with my little hook. That would probably help. You know, the little, oh my goodness, I can't find anything today. Where are you, little hook? Here it is. A little Cricut hook. And just lift that up. There we go. Let's slide that under there. on that side and that side. Right. I'm going to make sure it's laying pretty flat with the other page here, fairly level along there like so. And then I'll press that one down. And then I'm going to do it again for the next 2 pages, but I'm not going to do that on camera because I just want to go ahead and ink the back of these before I stick them in, because it will be more difficult for me to ink them after they've been glued in. So I'll go ahead and ink around the edges and glue my last 2 pages in, and then I'll come back and we'll put it in the book together. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so I have inked all around my edges and all 4 of my pages are stuck in to the binding now. So this is how it looks on the back, and you can sort of see through each of the little gaps there. So this is what this binding piece here that we cut out is for, which is, just as a reminder, is binding piece number 2. So I'm just going to take this piece of binding and a pencil, and I just want to line this up so it's fairly evenly sitting over the top of those 4 little tabs there, because we're just going to cover those up. So basically it's going to go about there. I just want it to be quite even. So then I'm going to grab my ruler, which is just stuck under there, and just going to line that up so that when I glue it down I can just easily line it up with that and put it into place. So then I'm going to put some glue on here. And I'm just going to pop this down on top, and I'm just going to line it up with that pencil mark that I just made. Line that up, press it down. It's just a little extra support for our pages so they don't run off. And I'll just give that a press. Okay, and then we're just going to flip that over. So that's the back, so I need to turn it around that way. Remembering that this is the back's facing the back of the book, the back cover of the book. So I'm just going to put glue over that entire thing and press it down into place in that area where we've already sort of given it a dry fit and put those lines in. So I'm just going to put some glue around here. Like so. Now this is what's holding our pages onto our book. So, you know, we want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. We don't want to be skimpy with the glue. I think it particularly needs a bit of glue along that edge, along there, maybe a bit more here. I'm just going to town. Okay, so then I can just line it up with that line that we've already drawn in there, like so. And then I'm just going to flip it around and make sure that I've lined it up on this edge here as well, this top and bottom edge. And then I'm happy with that. Now, I feel like I should have cut, there's a little tiny little bit of that second bit of binding sticking out that I really wish I'd cut off, but you know, I'm probably being a bit finicky, so, or pernickety, I don't know. I'm fussing. So now I'm just going to make sure that this is really well adhered to our book cover. Particularly along the edges here, very important that it sticks down. And I'm just taking my time. Okay, and then we're going to turn a page over, so we're just going to be careful when we're turning over the page, making sure it's stuck down really nicely, and that we really give that center section between each of the pages of that binding section a really good press. And just gently turn the next page over, press it down, do the same thing. Next page, feel like it could be a little bit more pressed down there. Like so. Press that down like that. Making sure my page sits down nice and flat, and that my binding sits down nice and flat. And then my last page. I'm just taking my time, being gentle. The press, and then just making sure it's sitting down nice and flat. Okay, and then I'm going to find where my the edge of the spine is, where we've stuck the front cover to the spine. And I'm just going to run my score line along there. And then I'm going to just gently start to fold my cover up while I'm doing that. And look, I definitely need more glue under there because it's just come away, which that's actually never happened to me before, so that's interesting, isn't it? I wonder if it's got something to do with the weather, or, I mean, did I not use enough glue? I thought I used enough glue, but it's okay, we can fix it now. Give it a press. Now we're not even going to see this side along here, this bit here, it's going to be covered up. So we could even put a bit of tape along there to hold it down. I've got some, this is some of that medical, it's called micropore tape by 3M. So I think you use it for bandages and things like that. And it's really good because it's strong but also thin. And it's not shiny, it's sort of more like a fibre. I can't find the edge of it though. Can't see it for looking. There, it's there. Where's my, where did I put everything today, honestly? And if I could pull this up. There we go. I could just put a little bit of that along here, and that would even help. I'm going to cover it up anyway, but we'll just put a little bit along there, because every little bit helps, right? Just trim it off so we don't have it poking out. Maybe the same at this end, it might be a little bit too long. Trim that there. So that's now, I've got a couple of, some extra glue and a piece of tape on there. So let's flip over to this side and run, where's the score line? Where's the line that we should be marking? This one here. And press along there. See how this one goes, and do okay. So if I that's okay. But I'm going to put some tape on it. You could use masking tape. You could use some strong washi tape. I think you would just don't want to use anything that's too plasticky, because it makes whatever you're going to glue down on top a little bit more difficult to glue down. There we go. So then that is my book with my pages. As I say, I don't usually decorate the front until quite close to the end. I mean, I might do it before then, who knows, but there you can see the 4 pages in there. But I am going to cover this up, so I have cut out some mats to go on there. So I've just cut out the pink mat here for the cover, 2 of those, 1 for each side. So I'm just going to glue that down onto there, and then that'll just neaten that up. I might put a bit of ink just along here because it looks a bit neat and clean. And I'll do the same on the outside, but I'll do that later. Just quickly do this. Okay, so then I have 2 of these that I'm going to glue in as mats, and I'm just using this quite plain colour for now because, or just plain, because I'll probably put a pocket or something on top, and you know, or I'll put some other kind of decoration or embellishment over the top of it. And this back section is going to have our box sitting on top anyway, so I don't know if I'll do anything to that. We'll think about that later. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this on here. Press that down. Nice and neat. The same on this side. I'm just going to flip it around because it's not directional or anything like that. Put this one on. Okay, pop this one down. Like that. Go to press, and that's actually the front of the book, and I'm actually working on it upside down at the moment, so I'm going to flip it around. So then we have our 4 pages in our book all ready to put something on, and then we've got our little book, our little box of boxes. So this will go in the back, sit there like that. So it's up to you how you would want to attach this. I actually am not going to attach it at all, but you know, if you wanted to, you could put magnets in the back here under this mat and magnets under this mat, and you could attach that with magnets. But I sort of find that it sits in pretty well without anything. The other thing you could do is just put a bit of sari ribbon across here and tie it up on the outside with a piece of sari ribbon or something like that. There's lots of things you could do. But that's our book so far. So it's got the box that sits in the back, and we've done our 4 pages in our cover. So in the next episode, in the next part or the next tutorial, we'll start doing some of the pages, putting some interactive elements on there. So thank you very much for your time today, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Bye.